You know what is one thing that I have learned in this journey so far is that sometimes you have to stare at fear right in its face and go right at it. That's why I've been delaying my engine work. So I've been delaying the teardown because I've been a little nervous to access and pull out those cam buckets, because in order to get those cam buckets, I am going to have to remove the camshafts, and you know, I've been a little iffy about that. So the first time that I actually put this engine together, I was supervised by an engine builder, and we didn't actually torque anything down. So we did put everything together. So the engine looks pretty complete. Also, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like when
no, that's just the little nod.
I ended up ordering a couple more things for the engine. I got a new pulley kit, an exhaust manifold. I still might get a couple more things, not sure yet. I'm also waiting for a vvti solenoid. The reason why I have to pull out these buckets is because I have to send them in to get DLC coated, and that's because of the camshafts that I'm running. So if we check these out, these are the GSC S2s. They are very aggressive cams. They degree at 274, so they have a super aggressive chop. And the thing is that within time of me breaking in this engine and driving the Supra, it is going to break into that cam cap, and then there's going to be engine failure, and then there's going to be a whole other kinds of issues that will occur, and I definitely don't want that to happen. So I kind of have been delaying it. Now I know that there are some shops, I watched some videos from, I think, is it Headworks or Head Games. I noticed that, you know, they build their cylinder heads without DLC coating those cam caps, and they did explain why. They just explained that because of the precision of what they know they are running in the power band, that it's not necessary. So that's typically why they don't do it. But in my case, it's super recommended to do so. And I think that's just probably what I should not skip. You know, I don't want to have an issue later on and then bam, you know, my engine shot. So I would be very, very sad. And, you know, Supra deserves nothing but the best. Nothing but the best. So yeah, so you know, I'm in this process, so I'm just preparing and kind of laying everything out just to see what I have. But I'm going to show you guys my engine and then show you what is done to it so far. All right, so let's go over the engine, guys. So it's been sitting out for a very long time. That's why this cam pulley over here, you see all of the hardware is covered in rust. The crank pulley also slightly covered in rust right over there. And then the block, the cylinder head, these are fine because I actually painted those, which they do have to have a little bit of a retouch. It's kind of dirty. Engine is actually pretty filthy. Now that I'm like looking at it, there's like dust everywhere. But yeah, I did paint that as well. I thought that was pretty unique. Besides that, so the vvti solenoid, it is broken. The connector broke off of it, so I did order a new one, so that's gonna come in. As far as work that's done to the block, no work done. Completely stock internals. And then there is a little bit of work done to the cylinder heads. Let me show you. I sent in the cylinder head to Arlington Machine in Riverside so they can cut into the cast to fit in the GSC S2s, since I have a vvti GTE head. This work is not necessary on non-vvti GTE heads. They also installed the Beehive spring kit and titanium retainers. They resurfaced, pressure tested, and hot soaked the head and was given back to me ready to throw onto the engine. I'm still learning, guys, so bear with me, but I think I might have to get a new tensioner, and if not, I think that I can probably send this into a shop so they could just repin it for me when I remove this. Not sure yet, but you know, I'll get back to you guys on that. Now, this is faded, but I'm gonna keep it. It's fine. You know, just gonna like polish off the rust right here. It's in great condition. It's brand new. It's never been used. So besides, oh, this one's completely faded. This was anodized, but this is part of the pulley kit that I bought. So the tensioner pulley, the water pump pulley, the alternator pulley, and then the power steering pulley. And then I'm probably gonna leave this here, Tuan, or I'm also gonna relocate it. I know not sure yet. You're gonna tell me to just reroute it. He's been telling me to reroute this thing, you know, and I'm still a little iffy about it.
It comes with the bracket that goes by the transmission tunnel.
Okay.
I mean the bell housing.
Okay.
And then the lines too, and then the fittings.
Nice.
So everything's all plug and play.
Okay.
So it's best when you to install it outside the motor out of the car.
So it would come with everything, the fittings, the lines, the bracket, and the actual adapter itself. He's gonna get me a better price tomorrow, but it should be somewhere around $400, so I'll decide if I'm gonna go with it wouldn't be a bad idea. A lot of people do tend to relocate the original or from factory oil filter housing anyways, so he did advise that it was probably something that I should do before I even put the engine into the Supra, because once it's already in, it's going to be a pain in the butt to work on because of the tight space. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I will decide tomorrow. Also going to need this. This is super essential to organize the cam buckets, especially because they do have to be labeled in order when they are removed from the engine. So I'm going to label them in this organizer when it comes in, and then that way I can have it ready to go ahead and send out. The engine bracket would have worked if it was from a later year, so I do need 97 plus, and unfortunately these TRD engine mounts are not going to be able to fit right through. I really tried, but I did find a killer deal on eBay, so those are being sold for $225, and I'm gonna be able to just slap those on, no issues. It fits onto the same bolt pattern. It's just that these are from an earlier years, so that's kind of why I'm not gonna be able to use them. Now let's see, man, how am I gonna budget all of this in, because I am still saving for the T56 from Granas. That is a pending ticket, so I'm gonna show you guys the ticket. It's quite pricey. This is the full breakdown of everything that I'm going to need for this part of the drivetrain. So transmission, and then everything the transmission is gonna need, and they have a pretty interesting little breakdown here, but this is how much it's gonna cost. So $1,176.90 for the actual transmission kit without the bell housing, and then the transmission itself, it's $3,500. And let's see, I almost forgot that I had to order a drive shaft because I don't have one. So drive shaft cost is $899, $199, and then a few of the other miscellaneous things, hardware lines, union bolts, and then a shifter. And then there we go, there we have it. That is the total. Alright, so I got my little list ready for the stuff that I need to get in order to complete the engine build. Now, right in the back of me, I do have the eBay ad for the engine mounts. So that is one thing that I'm going to check off the list, guys. The next thing is going to be the hardware for the valve covers. Unfortunately, the dress-up kit that I got for the Supra is not usable on the valve cover, so I'm going to need to get a new dress-up kit. So I'm going to need hardware. That is definitely one thing I'm going to check off today. And then the gaskets for the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold. Probably should have ordered the exhaust manifold gasket when I ordered the manifold, but I didn't. So I'm going to get those as well. Where I really sit and think, and I'm like, wow, I chose a really expensive hobby. Guys, it is super. You know, I love to invest in myself, and as a woman, you investing in yourself is priceless. And investing in myself means investing in my happiness, which means getting my Supra built, which means that I will be able to drive the Supra, which means that I will be ultimately fulfilled with happiness. We're gonna get there. We are gonna get there. Until next time, guys, have a great night. Bye.